Do you ever feel that combat isn't as impactful as it could be? That damage dealt and received are only ever regarded as minor flesh wounds in the long run? No matter how many times characters are knocked down, a long rest and a cup of tea later, they're as right as rain. If your answer is yes, then allow me to introduce the D&D 5e Scars and Injuries system. Before we jump in, please take note. 1. This system is best suited to a group that enjoys character evolution and roleplay. 2. Do not drop this system on a party without warning. Discuss the use of the system and how severe effects could be. 3. Please be responsible and respectful if you have players that suffer from related conditions. 4. This system is designed to make the game more challenging and engaging, not problematic. Continuing on. The Scars and Injuries system, or SIS for short, sets an evolving damage threshold for player characters that could lead to receiving a scar or an injury, no more relying on critical hits or DM whimsical decisions. Should a player character receive enough damage from an attack or spell, they will receive a scar or injury. Simple. The damage threshold is dependent on player level, but the calculation is as simple as 20 plus player character level. Low level characters aren't likely to receive enough damage to gain a scar or injury because, let's face it, they'd be wiped out taking that kind of damage. As the party grows stronger, they will start shrugging off damage that would have once left a scar or injury, and the stronger the party is, the more powerful foes they will face. So how does it work? SIS is broken down into 3 stages: preparation, damage, and results or recovery. Preparation is a stage for player characters that don't have lots of constitution, like glass cannon wizards. It allows player characters to gather resources, magical effects, and roleplay their preparations for a fight to reduce the chance of injury. The damage stage is pretty self-explanatory. If the player character receives enough damage, they will gain a scar or injury. For example, 25 points of damage for a level 5 player character, or 40 points for a level 20. The result stage is the main part of the system. When the player character takes enough damage, they will need to roll their hit die, and then minus their constitution modifier from the result. If the final result is less than or equal to 0, the player character gains a scar. If the result is greater than or equal to 1, the player character gains an injury. If the player character has prepared something against the damage, they gain a modifier to this calculation. Scars are meant to be cosmetic changes to a player character, allowing them combat-related character progression, and letting them do the old Joker line, "Do you want to know how I got these scars?" Injuries are a mechanical change to a player character, bestowing different debuffs to the character, which take time to recover from. Well, that is the very basic rundown of the system, so let's flesh it out a bit more with an example. Your level 5 party is going to fight a red dragon. You know that it deals fire damage, and has sharp claws for slashing damage. This isn't metagaming, it is likely common knowledge in the world, but a quick trip to a library or consulting local guards would grant the same knowledge. So, stage 1 is preparation. Red dragons breathe fire, so you could buy fire resistance potions. Seek out a seamstress or tailor for more fire retardant clothing, or douse yourself in water before the fight. Extra padding inside your armour could help against those sharp claws. Think outside the box. Each separate piece of preparation grants the party or player character a modifier of 1 when rolling for a scar or injury, up to a maximum of 3 per damage type. Though some preparatory measures could cover more than one damage type, a kind DM might allow a higher bonus. Let's say the party does all 3. Potions of fire resistance, fire retardant clothing, and gets a druid to soak them in water before the fight, giving them a modifier of 3 against fire damage. Stage 2 is damage. The battle has begun. A fighter on the front lines has failed their dexterity save against the fire breath, taking more than 25 points of fire damage. They will sustain a scar or injury. Stage 3, result. The fighter's constitution modifier is +3. With the preparation modifier of 3, their total modifier is 6. Let's look at both ways that this can play out. In the first case, the fighter rolls a 2 on their hit die. Minusing their modifier total of 6 reduces the result to -4. The attack deals a scar. Alternatively, the fighter rolls an 8 on their hit die. Minus their total modifier of 6 reduces the result to 2. The attack deals an injury. The injury value determines the number of days to recover and could be used to indicate the severity of the injury. that is up to the DM. In this scenario, the fighter has taken a lesser injury and will take 2 days to end the effect of the injury. It is up to the DM to decide the effect of the injury, but as an example, a lesser injury could be described as either the skin is badly burnt, making it difficult to grip and wield a weapon, so the fighter cannot add their strength or dexterity modifier to damage rolls. Or maybe the pain of the fire and smell of burnt flesh has scared the fighter to their core, meaning now the fighter is under the frightened condition whenever they can see open flames or sources of fire. In this example, preparations made by the party could make the difference between a battle where everyone leaves alive with a couple of battle scars, or a downward spiral of injury upon injury, reducing the party to a broken mess and probably a TPK. Injuries through this system can't be recovered through a single long rest, unless the injury value was 1. It gives the party almost forced downtime to reset and prepare for the next outing, or they can push on, risking the consequences. Some injuries might be addressed through the use of spells like Lesser and Greater Restoration or Regeneration, but that would be at DM discretion. Find the full details in the link below and let me know. Have you or the DM ever used long-lasting injuries to raise the stakes of a game in combat, exploration, or social encounters? How do you think you could prepare to go against some legendary monsters? How would you protect the party against psychic, poison, or even radiant damage? Have fun, and remember to take care of yourselves.